Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight in today.
Yeah, we are. We're looking at combining visuals and journaling.
Exactly. How that combo can really boost things like learning, memory, even cut down stress, and help with self-expression.
We've pulled together insights from educators, art journalers, well-being experts, too.
To really get to the heart of it, it's fascinating how these visual approaches work, both for taking in info and for, well, looking inward.
Absolutely. They seem different, but they offer this powerful toolkit for, both your brain and your feelings.
Okay, so let's get the picture clear. First up, sketchnoting.
Right.
And this isn't just messy lecture notes. Jen Giffen calls it visual note-taking. It's about using doodles, colors, shapes, going beyond just the words to capture ideas.
And she makes a key point. It's a piece of thinking.
Yeah. Not high art. That's crucial.
It really is. Takes the pressure off, right? You don't need to be an artist. It's about processing, making it work for you.
Helping you understand and remember.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Okay, then there's art journaling.
The other side of the coin, maybe?
Kind of. If you look at places like the art journaling subreddit or guides on starting one, it's more like a visual diary.
Using drawings, paint, collage, writing sometimes too.
Right, but the focus is really inward. Exploring emotions, personal stuff, getting creative.
And the key difference from sketchnoting is how personal it is. No judgment.
Totally. Sketchnoting often feels more about capturing external information, making sense of a lecture or a book.
Whereas art journaling is usually that internal journey, processing thoughts, feelings visually.
But here's where it gets really interesting. How they connect.
Yeah, how these visual methods offer unique benefits together.
For understanding and for well-being. So let's kick off with sketchnoting, how it can seriously upgrade learning and memory.
Okay, well, the cognitive benefits Jen Giffen talks about are pretty compelling.
Like what?
For starters, it can actually reduce stress. It activates the brain's reward pathway, so it just feels good.
Huh. Feeling good while learning. I like that.
It's a powerful combo. But there's more. It boosts memory, concentration, mental processing.
How does it do that?
Think about it. You're using multiple brain areas at once. Visual, kinesthetic, the actual movement of drawing, and linguistic.
So creating more connections, like a network effect.
Precisely. Giffen uses this great analogy. It's like making your memory a zip file. More efficient.
I like that. Fits more in. And she mentioned it could help people with cognitive impairments, too.
Yeah, that potential is really interesting. This multimodal engagement using different senses and processes together is key.
Seeing, moving, thinking.
Exactly. More brain parts involved means stronger encoding, easier recall later. It lines up with lots of learning research.
Makes sense. And it's definitely different from just typing notes on a laptop, right?
Oh, absolutely. Laptop notes can sometimes lead to shallower processing. You might just transcribe without really thinking.
But with sketchnoting,
yeah.
You have to understand it to draw it.
That's the core of it. You're forced to visualize, to synthesize the information.
And studies back this up.
They do. Giffen points out that sketchnoters might take a bit longer initially, but their understanding of the content was significantly better than those just trying to memorize.
Better understanding, not just rote learning.
And the memory boost is striking. One study she mentions found drawers remembered almost twice as much as writers.
Wow, nearly double.
And that wasn't requiring artistic skill, remember? Another study showed even simple doodlers recalled 29% more.
Okay, 29% is still a huge jump. That's pretty convincing.
It really highlights how powerful visual encoding is for memory. The act of drawing creates a more robust memory trace.
And what about focus? If your mind wanders.
Sketchnoting could be your secret weapon. Giffen says it keeps you present.
How?
By engaging the planning and concentration centers, you're actively listening, deciding what to capture, how to draw it, prevents that mind wandering.
Active engagement versus just passively receiving info.
Exactly. The gains can be greater than other mnemonic techniques even.
Interesting. And the final point from Giffen was about education.
Yes, leveling the playing field. It offers different ways in for students.
Especially helpful for those who struggle with traditional notes or are more visual learners.
It makes learning more inclusive, provides alternative paths to understanding.
Okay, sold on the benefits. How do you actually... Is it complicated?
Not at all. Giffen says you can go super simple. Analog, pencil crayons, blank notebook.
Old school. I like it.
Or digital. Tablets, apps like Tayasui Sketches. There's even a free version. It's just personal preference.
What's the most important thing to remember when starting?
That the notes are for you, the creator.
Right, not for anyone else. Doesn't have to be perfect or pretty.
Exactly. It's your thinking on paper. Different people will create totally different, equally valid sketch notes from the same source.
Good. Takes the pressure off. So what are the building blocks? What goes into a sketch note?
Giffen breaks it down. First, hierarchy and organization.
Making sense of the info visually.
Yeah, using things like frames, bullet points, arrows to show connections, dividers. Then doodles. Simple drawers, people. Icons used as metaphors. Symbolism is key.
So a light bulb for an idea, that kind of thing?
Exactly. Even your handwriting, the font style, can add emphasis or set a tone.
And color.
Optional, can be black and white, or maybe just a couple of accent colors to make things pop.
Got it. So structure, symbols, maybe some font and color flair.
That's the gist. They work together to make the information organized and memorable. The doodles act like visual anchors.
Okay, but arranging all that on a page, especially live, like in a lecture, seems tricky. What if you run out of space?
That can be a challenge with analog, definitely. Giffen suggests chatting with someone else afterwards, see their takeaways, fill in gaps later.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be perfect in the moment.
Not at all. Digital is easier, of course. You can move things, resize them.
True.
Her preferred method is often that two-step process.
Listen or read first, then sketch.
Yeah. Get the info, think about the layout, then create the visual. Less pressure in real time.
That makes sense, especially for beginners.
Yeah.
Are there different layouts or formats?
Yes, Giffen mentions microbes work here. Things like timelines, flowcharts, radial maps.
You choose based on the topic.
Right. Whatever fits the theme best.
And how do you know what to sketch? You can't capture everything.
Definitely not. Listen for keywords, verbal cues. Like if someone says there are 3 main points.
Okay.
Flags, anything that feels like a key takeaway or a good summary. Remember, a few words in a doodle can trigger a lot of memory.
Capture the essence, not every detail.
Precisely.
What if you get stuck? Like, how do I draw collaboration?
Oh, yeah. Happens to everyone. Giffen highly recommends the Noun Project.
Oh, yeah, the icon library.
Exactly.
Right.
Huge collection of simple, easy-to-draw icons. She suggests saving it to your phone's home screen for quick access.
Smart. Just browse for inspiration.
Yeah, it gives you ideas for how simple or detailed your own doodles need to be. A great visual vocabulary boost.
Okay, last bit on sketchnoting. Advice for actually integrating it, making it a habit.
Start basic. Giffen suggests Dave Gray's visual alphabet practicing simple shapes.
Circles, squares, lines.
Then maybe daily doodle practice. Concrete things first, cat, light bulb. Then abstract freedom, education.
And for educators, maybe course concepts.
Good idea. Then introduce the elements gradually, hierarchy, metaphors.
And use those scaffolding activities.
Right. Turn old notes into sketch notes. Try the 2-step method. Maybe pause and sketch with videos before trying it live.
Although live isn't always necessary, right? The 2-step is still effective.
Absolutely. It's about finding what works for you and building the skill over time.
Okay, brilliant. Let's switch gears then. From learning and memory to, well, mental and emotional well-being.
Yeah, let's talk about visual journaling in that sense. Art journaling.
We saw this really insightful post on the art journaling subreddit.
Oh, yeah.
Someone asking for advice. They wanted to use art journaling for mental health, but found traditional writing hard because of learning disabilities.
That really highlights how art journaling can be such a valuable alternative for expression.
Totally. And the community suggestions were fantastic, like using ephemera.
What's ephemera?
Like ticket stubs, tea bag tags, little scraps of paper from life. Stick them in and draw or write about the memory or feeling.
Ah, I see. Connecting visuals to real-life moments. Cool.
Others suggested using prompts if you feel stuck, and really stressing letting go of perfectionism.
Crucial for journaling, I think. It's your space.
Definitely. And experimenting with different notebooks for different things. One for stickers, one for paint, one for doodles, one for collage.
Embracing the flexibility, no strict rules about materials or what it should look like.
Exactly. Just play. Try things, put on music, don't overthink. Practice sparks creativity.
And looking at others' work for inspiration.
Yeah, watching videos, browsing Pinterest. They even said copying things you like can help train your own creative eye.
Interesting. Learn by doing, even if it starts with imitation.
A really simple but powerful idea was just focusing on feelings, like what color are you feeling today, and let that guide you.
That intuitive approach, tapping into emotions directly through visuals, can be very liberating.
Someone even hilariously suggested getting a shitty-ass notebook to start.
Ah, love that. Takes away the fear of ruining something nice.
Exactly. Just get started. The main message. It's wide open. Writing, drawing, paint, collage, whatever. Focus on themes or just go with the flow.
And some mentioned looking into art therapy activities or books, too, for a more structured therapeutic approach.
Right. It really emphasizes the process over the product. That's where the mental health benefits seem to lie.
Absolutely. The creation, the exploration, the expression itself.
Okay, so how does someone practically start? Your visual journal has a simple approach.
Yeah. What do they suggest?
Use a portable notebook. Capture anything interesting, quotes, memories, tasks, ideas.
Yeah.
If it replays in your brain, they say it matters. Get it down.
Good rule of thumb.
They suggest writing mostly in black ink. Apparently, the brain sees it as info, and the contrast is easy on the eyes. Then use color for embellishments. Headings, borders, drawings, call-out boxes, that's where you engage the emotions.
Nice balance. Structure with black ink, emotion with color.
And a great tip. Put a header on each page, even just one word. Helps with navigating later, jogs the memory.
Like a little title, makes sense?
And again, permission to create bad drawings, scribbles, stick figures, doodles. It's all good. It helps processing and memory.
Thinking on paper, not making art.
Exactly. And the potential benefits they list. Clarity on wants and don't wants, better sense of time use, planning goals, feeling more organized, more in control.
Very practical stuff. Makes it feel like a useful, everyday tool.
Then there's how to start an art journal. They call it a forgiving way to make art personal and contained.
Forgiving. I like that. What are their steps?
Basic supplies first. Online journal, paint, acrylic or watercolor, black pen, pencil. Simple. Step 2 is brilliant. Make a background first. Avoid the scary blank page.
Oh, clever. How?
Messy acrylic wash, painted tissue paper, watercolor dots.
Yeah.
Anything to break up the white.
Takes the pressure off immediately. Love it.
Then, step 3. Choose a theme and create. They have loads of ideas.
Like what? Give us a few.
Okay. Create a mandala circular pattern. Trace your hand and fill it with feelings or intentions. Use cutouts from old art for collage. Paint a meaningful quote.
Lots of starting points there.
Yeah. Or make a gratitude list visually. Create a dictionary of your feelings. Define and draw them. Record something meaningful from your day using prompts. Or just free write over an interesting background.
Sounds really exploratory.
Definitely. They stress mixing writing and drawing freely. Not worrying about drawing skills, just experimenting.
Again, process over product.
Right. Now, stepping back a bit, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont talks about the wider well-being benefits of journaling generally, including visual journaling.
Putting it in context.
Yeah. They say journaling is more than just recording events. It's processing thoughts, feelings, ideas, reflections, gaining clarity and perspective.
That cognitive and emotional processing again.
And the benefits they list are pretty major. Processing emotions, spotting patterns, better organization, tracking growth, achieving goals, problem solving, creativity, coping with uncertainty.
Wow, quite a list.
And health benefits, too. They cite a clinical trial showing reduced stress and anxiety, plus potential for lower blood pressure, better mood and sleep, stronger immune system, fewer depression symptoms, even support for trauma recovery and substance use disorder treatment.
That's significant. Having clinical evidence adds real weight.
It does. They encourage experimenting. Find what journal type works for you or combine them. Visual journaling is definitely one valid, powerful option.
A valuable self-care practice, really.
Absolutely. And for some really concrete, easy prompts, there's a Skillshare YouTube transcript, Self-Care Through Visual Journaling.
Ooh, practical examples.
Yes, like a Cultivating Joy page lists things that make you happy to look back on later.
Simple but effective.
Or Honoring All Feelings. Use a heart or brain shape. Fill it with all the mixed emotions about something. Acknowledge the good and the bad.
Accepting the complexity of feelings. That's important.
Then there's What You Want, listing desires. For now, this year, 5 years. For self-discovery. A busy day page with sketches of your activities, apparently very gratifying.
I can see that. A visual record of accomplishment.
And things you're already proud of, remembering past achievements, strengths, helps you recall your resilience.
Building on existing strengths. Powerful.
The overall vibe is just give it a try. It might feel really natural.
These prompts make it feel very accessible, don't they? Tangible starting points.
Totally. And finally, the mental health benefits of visual journaling from the visual journaler really pulls it all together, focusing on the therapeutic side.
Okay.
It reiterates, visual journaling combines words, images, art for creative and therapeutic processing.
That'll blend again.
Key benefits they highlight. Stress anxiety reduction. The visual creation itself is meditative, cathartic. Improved self-awareness and self-esteem. You see your thoughts, celebrate your creativity. A tool for processing trauma, tangible exploration, especially if talk therapy is hard.
It can be fun.
Right. Don't forget that. Experimenting with art supplies is enjoyable.
Good point.
They emphasize no rules. Use a journal, sketchbook, digital tools. Set aside regular time. Experiment with materials. Just be consistent and non-judgmental.
That consistent, non-judgmental creation seems to be the core message across the board.
It really does. It's not about skill. It's about using visuals for self-discovery, emotional processing, stress relief.
Yeah.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, it feels clear that visual journaling, both sketchnoting for learning and art journaling for well-being, offers this really compelling mix of benefits.
They're interconnected, aren't they? Enhancing learning through visual engagement, reducing stress through creative expression.
Increasing self-awareness, processing emotions, it all feeds into each other.
That synergy is what makes it so unique, I think. Addressing intellectual and emotional needs together.
So the encouragement for you listening is definitely to experiment.
You give it a go.
Try some basic sketchnoting next time you need to capture info. See how it feels, if it helps recall.
And maybe try some art journaling prompts for personal reflection, emotional exploration in that non-judgmental space.
It's about getting beyond just hearing about it and actually experiencing it.
See what resonates.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Go on.
How might intentionally bringing more visual elements into your everyday notes or your personal reflections, how might that unlock new levels of understanding? About the world, yes, but maybe even more about yourself.
Definitely something worth exploring.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.